Good
Hi, Ted.
afternoon.
Yeah. Good morning, Ted.
Okay. Oh, sorry. It's gonna be
Morning,
sister.
mga
Okay.
katribu. It's another Wednesday again, and we're here on Straight Talk, another episode of Daily Tribune Straight Talk, where we discuss the most relevant issues of the day. This is Chito Lozada.
And we are live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube. I am Teddy Montelibano. In this morning's episode, we are joined by the former representative of Taguig, serving from 2010 to 2013 as mayor of the same city back in 2001 until 2010. He is currently heading the Global Electric Transport company as founder and president. Let's welcome Mr. Freddie Tinga. Good afternoon,
Good
Freddie.
afternoon, Freddy.
Mr. Tinga,
Good
good
afternoon,
afternoon.
good morning. Thank you for having me,
Good morning.
Teddy
Good morning.
and Chito. No?
Pleasure,
Exciting
it's
to
a
be
pleasure.
here.
Thank you for
Good
taking
day.
your time. And thank you for taking your time in discussing with us a very important, I think it's a very interesting subject. You know,
Yeah.
it's, okay,
Can you introduce us to GET?
yes.
What
is your company all
So,
about?
so GET is a sustainable mobility company, so electric mobility.
Yes.
So we're not here just to sell electric vehicles. We're here actually to kind of try to fix the transport situation by providing electric vehicles to carry the population. So whether it's public transport, corporate shuttles, yan ang pinapasukan namin. No?
Okay, yeah.
And right now what we're doing is we're doing a lot of the corporate shuttles for some of the bigger names in the industries. We do the BPOs, we do industrial estates, and soon with scale we'll also start doing the PUV modernization program,
Oh,
so
yeah.
public transport.
okay.
Public
And
transport.
I think whether that sequence was intentional or not, it probably was the right way to do it. No?
Yes.
Because it's hard to scale public transport kung pailan-ilan ka lang,
Ah.
but you can actually do corporate shuttles in little bits and little pieces.
Okay.
We've got 62 vehicles on the road,
Right now. Okay.
servicing a variety of clients.
Okay.
And we're hoping to get close to about 500 units by the end of the year.
Wow, from 62 to 500,
Yeah.
big leap, huh?
Well, we're working on a round of financing, which I think is going to close pretty soon. And then after that, sa tingin namin, tuloy-tuloy na rin to because that's really where the world is headed.
This,
For the 500 is for corporate shuttles. None for the private yet? None for private. I mean, none for private.
For public
For
transport.
public
Well,
transportation.
The
None
500
yet?
will be a mix of the two.
Okay.
But once we get into the thousands, which we believe it's just a matter of time, I think you start seeing more in the public transport side than the corporate shuttle.
That's what
Now
you-
the interesting thing here is that eventually you will not be able to tell the difference. It will,
In terms of what?
in terms of kung sasakay ako sa corporate shuttle or public transport, we think eventually it's going to feel and look like the same thing because we don't just do the vehicles, we also do the IT system and the app. The app that you
there will
use
be
to
an
ride.
Oh,
No?
so you have how?
Oh,
and
so
you're
right-
up driven. Okay.
So right now
How does that work? Yeah.
the passengers or the members of the organization, they use their app, they buy a QR code, that's what they use to ride.
Okay.
So in the case of a corporate shuttle, the company can track their employees, who's riding, what time, where they are.
Okay. Very
If
organized.
the company, for example, wants to recover their costs for what they spent on the corporate shuttle, they can either subsidize the vehicles or they can have the employees pay. So it becomes a
Okay.
company decision kung gusto niyang bawiin yung ginagastos niya sa shuttle. Hindi. And which is actually very, very close to what public transport is.
Okay.
And in certain areas, we have what's called a shared shuttle concept,
Which is-
where it will be several companies sharing several vehicles. So hindi ka umuupa ng isang sasakyan lang. So we're doing a lot of innovative
Shared
things.
costs also, no?
Yeah, sharing costs, and we're doing a lot of innovative things with the support of the Department of Transportation and LTFRB.
Why do you need a support Why do you need a support, particularly of those agencies?
Well, this is still a
Well, I mean,
regulated.
you franchise. I mean, you registered them from. You have a franchise. no,
we
first of all.
we Well, we have a contract with the entity, whether it's a corporation or an organization, which is what is required for a shuttle service.
Okay.
Hindi ka pwedeng magpatakbo ng shuttle service kung walang nangongontrata sa'yo.
Okay, yeah.
That's the law, no?
Okay.
And the reason why we're focused on that direction is we sat down with Secretary Bautista before, and sabi namin, Secretary used to be the president of Philippine Airlines.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I'm pretty sure na yung aeroplano mo wasn't just on a fixed route. This plane did not just do Manila-Hong Kong. It was moved around to where it was needed.
Correct, yeah.
So in our case kasi, if we just do fixed route, and then I have a call center or BPO client at night, at linipat ko dun, I would be technically out of line. So this is why we prefer what's called a smart electric shuttle program, which is what the DOTR has created. So for electric vehicles or electric buses, you can move them around basta may kontrata ka and you're not collecting cash on board. So this is what we're doing.
Not collecting cash on
We
board.
don't-
So
yeah.
everything goes through the app.
Everything goes through the app. Everything goes through the app. And it is what they call, parang it becomes real-time transport planning. Kasi when you start these routes, like for example, if I have a corporate client, we've got pickup points for their employees. But over the course of the service, you will find that, okay, itong stop na to, walang sumasakay, ito, marami pala dito. It allows you to vary, which you cannot do on a fixed route transport, no? So these are the innovations we're creating, that you're not only electric, but you're also an intelligent transport that adapts, to...
So, how does this contract work? I mean, let's say I'm the operator of a big plant in Laguna, or
Yep.
something, or
Yep.
in a what you call it, in a zone, no?
Yeah, yeah.
What happens? I hire you. We agree on how much, I don't know, monthly or something,
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
and then I tell you, my employees are this much, and this much will be using your services. So what do they need the app for?
So we do a lot of what you described, which is fixed contract arrangements.
That's one
Yeah.
kind, okay.
But in certain instances, the company would say, yeah, but you know what? I want to recover my costs. And so I'm going to charge my employees
I see.
and deduct this.
So, at least sigurado na sila na may
Yes.
ride sila.
Oo, oo. So it really depends on what the client
I see,
wants.
okay.
But the ability to track and the ability to have all this data, no, like for example,
smart,
like you,
okay.
we have a couple of these BPO clients that this is part of their ESG program.
Yes.
And they report this to headquarters, they report this to New York, and they can give data. Ito yung bilang, this is how many employees that rode this week. This is the number of kilometers they rode. So the ESG report is very specific. Hindi lang yung umupa kami ng sasakyan. They can give you or we can give them the kilometers, we can give them the number of passengers. This kind of data is important.
So of course it counts in the ESG report because yours is a sustainable, non-pollutant vehicle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
And I think what's happening is most of these organizations are now having these mandates. No, I mean, like this morning we had a meeting. And they were saying BSP, for example, is quite serious about financial institutions having an environmental report card, which includes, transport.
Yeah,
Transport.
great, fantastic. No, okay.
These 500 vehicles are servicing how many companies?
Well, right now we have 62.
62.
62 vehicles.
Where are they? Where are they located?
So
Metro Manila?
Metro Manila, we've got in Lipa, we've got in Bataan, we have a few in Cebu, we're starting
Wow,
out in...
nationwide.
Pero
even
paunti-unti,
outside
no?
Metro
And a lot of that like Cebu or even the ones we have in CDO and Iloilo are really market testers.
Iloilo you also have.
We've
Are you
got...
supplying the public transportation in Iloilo?
No, not yet.
okay.
But I think, we've seen the other vehicles and hindi naman sa nagbubuhat ng bangko namin. But I mean, the ones we roll out are we think, superior to anything on the market. In fact, we had a meeting with DTI a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And, DTI's comment had always been that our vehicles were overbuilt, overdesigned.
Why so?
And now
What do
they-
you mean by overbuilt, overdesigned?
Because most of the guys who will roll out electric vehicles
Simple box, wala that.
are really, for lack of a better term, they're rolling out glorified golf carts. Okay? Because the model is, gusto nilang ibenta.
Way
eh.
to describe
Benta.
it.
Siyempre, mas mahal ang electric vehicle eh. An electric vehicle is still more expensive than an internal
How much is
combustion.
one vehicle? 1
Well,
million?
our sticker price is 4.5,
Okay.
for example,
Oh.
right?
Right.
So if I were to go to an entity and, hey, you want your own shuttle service, here's our bus, buy it, at 4.5, wala pa akong kita. So it makes it difficult, right? So what we say is, if you, for example, you wanted to invest in this business, we'd say, okay, you cover half the cost, 2.25 M ka, 2.25 kami, let's operate, let's share the earnings. That's the
So you
model.
can do that, huh?
That's the model. So in terms of price points, we're actually the cheapest.
Yeah.
Because we brought it down to 2.25, which is below the vehicle cost, because we recover that sa operations.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the electric vehicle, ours in particular, is much cheaper to operate. So ang operating cost namin, fuel cost, for example, no? If you were to operate a similar Euro 4 type vehicle, you would be spending about 22 to 25 pesos per kilometer.
Per kilometer.
Yung, assuming the cost of fuel is, I think, we computed at 60, no?
Yeah, around 60.
Kami, we're at 5 pesos per kilometer. So it really is, despite the fact na medyo mahal ang kuryente sa Pilipinas, we are operating at 25% the fuel cost. So doon ang bawi mo sa operations. Mas mahal nga yung sasakyan, pero if you run this thing efficiently,
Correct, yeah.
makakabawi ka. No?
Pero ang upfront, 2.5.
That is if you share,
Yeah.
if you share the
Yeah.
if you share the investment.
Yeah,
If
so-
you invest as well.
Yeah.
Then hati kayo.
Then hati
Hati.
tayo nung partner. So
Do you have a lot of arrangements like that?
we have a few. And that will be the arrangement with the jeepney operators, right? Because the jeepney
You
operators,
will be supplying the jeepney operators. That's
yes,
fantastic.
at
Yeah, that's my
2.25.
next
Sino yung
question.
kinakausap niyo sa jeepney operators?
So all the associations, no?
Do they welcome it?
Yeah. I
Ang
mean, we've
response
got
nila?
over 1,000 of these jeepneys lined up for conversion.
Oh, great. So
Naiipit lang sila because they've got to find financing. They don't have the money. So they're waiting on the
quite
DBP or Land Bank to give them that financing because that's available. That's the mandate of the government banks. No? And we're thinking that within the year there will be, quite a number of these conversions happening to electric. And yun, at 2.25, we're cheaper than the diesels.
okay.
Yeah.
No? But obviously, the model's very different. With a lot of the diesel suppliers, bebenta ko sa'yo, bahala ka na sa buhay mo. Dito, wala kang
Yes,
infrastructure eh. So, not only are
The
we...
infrastructure being the charging
charging
stations.
Yeah, so
stations.
kami yan. We lay that out. So, there's the additional investment on our part pa. Right? Not only do we subsidize the cost of the vehicle, we also have to subsidize the cost of the chargers.
Okay.
You can't do that if you don't have a manufacturing partner who agrees with you
Yes.
sa business model. So yung manufacturing partner namin is willing to...
Local?
No, right now they're out of China, but they will be building the plant here once the volume is enough to justify. Yun naman ang maganda sa kanila. They also understand. Kasi, at this point, all these electrics really are coming from China, and the quality that they're building now is pretty good. No? And
I understand China is number one.
It's
in terms
number
of
one.
electric, they're
It's number
leading.
one.
They're leading in the
yeah,
electric
and
vehicle.
I mean the other countries, US,
They're catching up.
nagreklamo sila that the Chinese are dumping the vehicles there. But here, it's allowing us
imagine, no?
to create this model. But you have to find the right manufacturing partner because the manufacturers are not geared to this business model. The manufacturer gusto niyan, He builds the vehicle, you pay a margin, I sell it to you and that's it,
Wala ka
right?
na, oh, yeah.
No eh. Sabi namin, the EV is just too expensive.
So again, what is the name of this? What is the name of your? What's the make?
Get.
What brand?
GET.
GET
So it's our own brand.
Global
Electric transport.
Electric
Yes,
Transport.
transport.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
that's
a
made in
homegrown
China.
company.
It's made in
Made
China.
in China. We're working on a few other accounts in a couple of other countries. I mean, and we've explained this, that we're not really looking to supply the developed countries.
Yes.
This is for Southeast Asia,
Southeast
this is
Asia.
for Africa, this is for Latin America. Yan ang markets natin.
So your vision is really
we continue with
goes
our
beyond
discussions, but
Yeah.
we have to take a
already.
commercial break.
This public service announcement is brought to you by Meralco.
Magandang araw mga kaliwanag at gayon din sa ating mga katribo. Formal nang inanunsyo ng pag-asa na tapos na ang El Nino season sa bansa. Nagsisimula na rin ang sunod-sunod na pag-ulan sa maraming bahagi ng Pilipinas kasama ng Metro Manila, kaya inaasahan ng ahensya na pagdating ng Hulyo ay maaring magsimula na rin ang La Nina. Kami po sa Meralco ay nakahanda na sa mga maaring maging epekto ng tag-ulan. Patuloy ang koordinasyon ng kumpanya sa Department of Energy, Energy Regulatory Commission at iba pang ahensya ng gobyerno na involved sa public service. Lalong-lalo na sa mga local government units ng mga lugar na nasasakop ng aming prangkisa. Kung napapansin po ninyo, mas pinaigting pa namin ang pagsasagawa ng maintenance at upgrading work sa aming mga pasilidad para masiguro na kakayanin ng aming facility sakaling magkaroon ng mga malalakas na bagyo. Bukod dito, tuloy-tuloy din po ang aming inisyatiba sa wire clearing operations sa ilalim ng aming anti-urban blight program. At hindi rin tumitigil ang aming tree trimming activities para maiwasan ang mga posibleng aksidente dahil sa mga ulan o bagyo. Bago matapos itong digital explainer na ito mga kaliwanag at mga katribo, meron po akong iiwang mga tips para sa inyo. Una, dapat po ay updated tayo sa mga balita at alam natin kung anong mga paparating na bagyo sa ating lugar. Bago pa man tumama ang nasabing bagyo, siguraduhin naka-charge ang mga cellphone nyo, power banks at iba pang rechargeable na items at appliances, lalo na yung mga importante tulad ng electric fan at mga ilaw. I-ready na rin natin ang ating mga flashlights at mga kandila. Kung hindi natin maiiwasang gamitin, make sure safe po tayo. Para kung magkaroon man ng power interruption dahil sa bagyo o malakas na ulan, ay may magagamit tayo agad. Mag-imbak din tayo ng sapat na pagkain at tubig sa bahay para handa tayo kung hindi pa man ligtas lumabas. Kapag naman ho pinasok ang ating bahay ng baha, siguraduhin nakapatay ang linya ng kuryente o ang main circuit breaker. Lumabas lang kung kailangan. Gumamit ng kapote, rubber boots kung lulusong sa baha bilang dagdag proteksyon sa aksidente at sa sakit. Dapat din ho, tuyo ang mga kamay bago humawak ng anumang pasilidad ng kuryente. Pero kung hindi naman kailangan, wag na ho ninyong gawin. Tanggalin na rin sa pagkakasaksak ang mga kagamitang may kuryente. Kapag humupa na ang baha, para rin sa kaligtasan ng lahat, ipacheck po sana natin sa lisensyadong electrician ang mga saksakan at wiring sa bahay bago gamitin. At kung sa hindi inaasang pagkakataon, magkaroon ng mga power interruptions o power outages, paki-message nyo po kami sa official social media account ng Meralco o kaya tumawag sa aming hotline na makikita sa screen. Ilan lamang po ito sa aming munting paalala mula sa inyong Manong Joe. Hangad po namin ang kaligtasan ninyo anuman ang panahon. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras at nawa ay nakatulong po ang inyong lingkod para magbigay linaw sa usaping ito dito sa Digital Explainer sa Daily Tribune.
And this break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you.
Tune in to Daily Tribune's show aimed at addressing the needs and problems of our OFWs from different corners of the globe. Hear about their plights and success stories every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 p.m. only on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
Straight Talk dives deep into present issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune now in YouTube.
We're back, Ted.
Consumers? Okay.
So, we're talking about the
Plenty.
way that
Yes, we were talking about a lot of things. Can you remember what exactly? Because there were so many that were flying, you know. But we were talking
we
about
start with the how all the ideas about electric vehicles began. So there was this e-trike that
Yeah,
you introduced in.
okay. When you talk about your experience 10 years ago.
10 years
Let's
ago.
talk about that. So 10 years ago, you already started thinking about electric vehicles when nobody anywhere in the country was thinking about that. What made you think about that? And but I guess you made your due diligence or something. Was it feasible for you? Did you think it was feasible for you to jump into that industry or to jump into that business activity?
You know, I think the background here is when I was in Taguig, when I was mayor of Taguig, it's really problem-solving time. And you got to remember, at that time, Taguig was just on the way up. You had a limited budget. You know, Bonifacio was starting to come around, and you can't just throw money at problems. You really need to try to find something to fix it with. No? And it just made sense that electric vehicle technology was starting to happen then. And we said, okay, public transport's a huge problem in this country. Pollution's a huge problem in this country. If you can figure all of that out, then it's worth exploring, no?
Yes.
So we did an e-trike project in Taguig. I think we did an experiment with, I think, 50 e-trikes that we ourselves
50.
started with
funded, yeah.
Okay.
And, you know,
self-funded.
self-funded by the city,
By
you know,
the
to run in the barangays, to run in BGC.
So this was run by the city government.
Run by the city.
Okay.
You know, you wanted to make a statement that we were environment friendly and all of that. But
Galing,
we also saw that it was tough to make the numbers work. You know? So this was a city service, parang ganun nangyari. If you wanted to build a quality electric vehicle, it would cost more money than we cared to spend at the time. And the small number of passengers made it difficult to recover that kind of investment.
Wait, was it popular? I mean, were people using it?
Yeah, but I mean, people are only willing to pay a certain amount.
Because you were charging how much?
Oh,
at time?
that I think that no, we were running a very, kasi tricycles are LGU run yan are LGU regulated. So we were charging, I think, tricycle fares at the time. No?
So cheap.
Yeah. So you can't recover. So unless you're subsidized by the city or by an organization, it's tough to make it work. And ADB picked up on the idea. This is why ADB went on that big e-trike project. And, you know, we spoke with a fellow running it. I said, you know, you should have talked to me. We would have been able to share experiences with you. So that's what got us to thinking, and then I left politics. That's what got us to thinking that you can probably do something better with a larger format vehicle. Kasi mas gagastos ka, but you get more passengers, you can carry more people, and so on and so forth.
Opportunity to solve transport problems.
Yeah, and then, you know, run an air-conditioned minibus. You can't really air-condition a tricycle, right? And like I was saying, the only place where an e-trike works is Boracay. Because and you can ask around, as a tourist, these people are willing to pay a little more. That's what happens. I mean, I'm having fun in Boracay. I'll spend a couple of $100 to ride a tricycle, which you wouldn't do in Metro Manila.
No, I understand. Now I know why the ordinary commuters there are not being picked up, because they're looking out for the tourists.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
Yes.
I know now.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
So yun, it works in that
tourism
limited
oriented,
format.
yeah. Okay.
But you're talking public transport, you wanna, diba, help And so now being in the private sector allows you to experiment a little more. I mean, in government, medyo ano kaya, you're constrained, right?
Bureaucracy and all that.
In the private sector, you start taking a few more risks, and I mean, we've fallen down so many times on this project.
Really, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we had a vehicle burn back in 2015.
What are the
Because
challenges?
our
Charging.
partners then, our partners then, it was the US group, our partners then said, you know what, we can build our own battery. Kami naman, sure, let's do that. So they built it, and of
And
course,
it
flawed.
Exploded.
Yeah. So we had a fire
There were
on
no
a vehicle.
casualties.
No casualties. So scrap that, put in new batteries, so it's been a struggle. But you learn along the way. So when we have these investors coming in, and at this point they're quite convinced that what we're doing is the right thing. We tell them, you're paying for 10 years of falling down and getting up. This is tuition. And we look at, honestly, we look at everybody else in this space, and all of them are pontificating, all of them are saying this, that, minsan naaliw na lang kami, no? Because, well, let's wait until you guys figure it out. Because you're right. Sometimes we think, this is clear, very clear to us what's supposed to happen. It's very clear to us because we've learned so much.
You've been to a period
The
of
school of hard knocks.
You've been to a
talaga.
curve,
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
So what's the difference? What's the you said that these vehicles are quite more expensive than the usual electric vehicle. So what's
What
in
makes
it?
it-
What's
Because
making
it's,
it more expensive?
it's because it's a real
And
vehicle.
how did you choose GET? Did you have a?
That's a good question. 10 years ago, I can't remember anymore. But it sounded nice. I mean, Global Electric Transport. And so we
How
went
did
with
you
that.
find them? How did you find them?
Oh no, that's
Did
us.
somebody point out?
That's
a
us.
local
That's our
company.
company.
Sorry. How did you find your manufacturer?
That's a funny thing. The first one was because I went to school in Eugene, Oregon, for my MBA, and so these guys are from Oregon. Somebody put us together. That's how we met them.
What's the school in Oregon?
Okay.
University of Oregon.
That's a beautiful place, actually.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir. The best Pinot Noir.
And then I mean we've lucked out by finding the right partners. Indica Aboitis is a partner. He introduced us to a
Indica.
Spanish engineering outfit that really
It's getting
upscaled their
interesting.
vehicle. And now we have a wonderful manufacturing partner out of China. And this is the key, I think. And I was talking to some people about the uniqueness of the situation. You have to be able to convince your partner that your business model works. Kasi yung business model namin, you don't earn from the sale of the vehicle,
Okay.
right?
As
You
you
earn
said,
from the operations.
Operations.
Now, we will be rolling out this year all sorts of logistics vehicles, delivery vans, reefer vans, that sort of thing. That will be selling. But for passenger transport, our business is really in operating revenues. Yeah.
So you have to be in the operations side.
We have to be in operations. And now that we're in operations, and yun nga, naglalatag kami ng mga charging stations, now we can bring in all these other vehicles and sell them.
Economies of scale.
Because now you have the charging network to support it,
Yeah,
right? So if, we talk to, say, Coke or whoever, San Miguel, you need delivery trucks here. We'll have the best price as well as the charging network dahil nailatag na namin to service our own fleets.
You can do delivery trucks.
Yes.
Wow, these are big vehicles, huh?
Well, we'll start with the smaller ones kasi the bigger the vehicle, like kami, we have the 6-meter bus. Our partners have the big 60-seat buses, but they're very expensive. So the 6-meter really is your Goldilocks size. Not too big, not too small, just right.
That's right.
Private cars.
And
Do you want-
Private cars, there's a lot selling now, trying to sell, but we don't think the market's there yet.
even there's a lot of even when my brother bought
Tesla.
what is Elon Musk again?
Tesla.
He bought a Tesla. He's very excited about
what
it
happened?
at first. He doesn't
Bought
like to
it-
keep on
bought it yet?
charging it. My brother in the States.
in the States?
Kasi dito, if you look at it,
But yeah, as he said, though, it performs very well, but it's just the tediousness of it. I
and
guess.
also coming from where we are in trying to fix
Not worth
transport,
it, but-
selling more cars is adding more traffic.
Yes.
I'd rather
yeah.
focus
True.
on
That's
fixing
true.
public transport,
correct.
which is what we're doing,
Yeah.
that people like you can take our
It's a good
buses.
thought,
And sa amin, again, working with DOTR, we've created a model where it's more like a shared taxi, right? Like, for example, it's the people hate public transport because the
Yes, Mr.
the buses, the jeepneys are terrible.
Annoying.
And yung
Cluster.
palipat-lipat. But if I can give you a service that picks you up close to where you stay and brings you to almost where you know, like, again, it's smart, intelligent shuttles. Like, for example, if I were to do a P2P from Alabang to Makati, that would probably end up now in one Ayala or hindi ka kukuryente. And these are safe. And our next batch of vehicles, the battery technology kasi is improving so much, the batteries now are on the roof. And what that does for us is, because right now the batteries are in the seats, sa ilalim ng seats. What that does for us, by moving it to the roof, is now I can configure the seats. Pwedeng akong bench seating,
Fantastic.
parang jeep, There's battery swapping, no? But that's only done.
Really,
They're being,
already?
they wanted to end it.
Wow, that was fast. But you're the pioneer, no? You're the pioneer in this particular of electric vehicles. No?
Yes, yes. It's painful being the pioneer.
Why painful?
The lessons learned are painful.
But you're ahead.
But then of course
That's
you have a certain measure of satisfaction that you were
Yeah.
able to do it, and now you're a trendsetter. I mean,
Trendsetter.
you know.
So
But trendsetter kasi baka may
let's cut
competition.
the trend and everything.
Yeah,
So we
parting
have-
words.
we have
My goodness, that went
to
really
give,
fast. That went fast.
To give Fred the
Yeah,
parting,
yes.
his parting.
What can you say
words.
about the industry, where we're going, and all that? I mean, and what does it? What does your industry
Will it be,
hope to do to
exciting
contribute to our
industry?
efforts in in lessing pollution, lessing carbon,
Yeah.
and all that?
But-
Any parting words?
Again, thank you, Ted and Chito, for having us here. No? And it's an exciting time for the electric vehicle industry, and the government has been very supportive. No? I think the important thing to understand, especially in the way we've approached this, is we're not just here trying to push electric vehicles. We're not here to sell cars. We're here to fix a problem. And any time you try to get into an initiative that hindi lang benta, pero to fix, the opportunity is huge if you're fixing a problem. And there are no bigger problems in the Philippines or in Metro Manila, for example, than traffic and pollution. So
Yeah, traffic
if
and
we can
pollution,
do our part in fixing and addressing that, then it's a win for everyone. The commuters get a big win. The drivers get to keep their jobs,
Public transport.
and the whole country benefits with the success. So this is really what we're trying to do.
Oh, that's great, Freddie. That's really. I'm so glad that we talked because now, I have a sense about
Very
what,
enlightening about
very enlightening.
public transport.
Thank you very much
Thank
for your
you.
time and for sharing with us your experience in your industry.
Thank you so much. Thank
And
you.
good luck.
Thank you. Thank
There,
you.
there we have it from Mr. Freddie Tinga. Thank you, mga katribo, again for staying tuned to our program.
Okay.
And thank you, mga katribo. Tune in again next week, next Wednesday, for another edition of Straight Talk. I am Chito Lozada.
Okay. Watch Straight Talk Live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube. I am Teddy Montelibano. Good afternoon.
Montel.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very